In a quiet green valley, surrounded by singing rivers and whispering winds, there lived a little boy named Ian. He had big, curious eyes and a heart full of dreams. But life wasn't easy. Ian and his mother were very poor. Every morning, they walked deep into the forest to collect firewood and sell it at the market for a little food. Even though life was hard, Ian never stopped smiling. He always believed that one day something wonderful would happen. Every night before sleeping, he looked up at the stars and whispered, "Someday, I'll find a way to make my mother happy." One evening, while gathering wood, Ian wandered farther into the forest than ever before. The air felt strange. The forest was silent, yet alive. Then he heard a soft whisper. It wasn't the wind, it was a voice. "Ian, if your heart is pure, make a wish." Ian looked around in surprise. The voice came from a huge old tree. Its trunk glowed faintly, and its leaves sparkled like tiny stars. He stepped closer and said softly, "I wish I could make my mother smile and bring happiness to everyone in my village." The tree shimmered brighter. A warm golden light surrounded Ian. When he opened his eyes, he saw a small glowing seed lying near his feet. Ian carefully picked up the seed and ran home. He planted it beside his small hut and watered it every morning with love. Days passed. One morning, Ian noticed something extraordinary. A golden sprout had appeared. It grew faster than any plant he had ever seen. Within a week, it became a tall, radiant tree, glowing softly even at night. The next day, when sunlight touched its leaves, Ian heard the same gentle voice again. "This is the tree of wishes, Ian. Use it only for kindness, and it will bring joy to all." Ian's heart filled with wonder and gratitude. At first, Ian didn't know what to do, but then he remembered the hungry children in his village. He touched the golden leaves and whispered, "I wish there was food for everyone." In seconds, the tree bloomed with fruits, apples, mangoes, bananas, glowing with magic light. Ian shared them with everyone in the village. The next day, he wished for clothes for the poor, and the tree's branches gently lowered soft fabrics of every color. When he wished for happiness, laughter filled the streets. The old danced, children played, and his mother's eyes sparkled with joy. The villagers called it a miracle, but Ian's mother said, "My son, the real magic isn't in the tree. It's in your kind heart." Far away, in a nearby city, lived a rich merchant named Fakir Chand. He heard about the Tree of Wishes and grew jealous. He thought, "If I had that tree, I'd be the richest man in the world." He traveled to Ian's village with bags full of gold and said, "Boy, sell me your tree. I'll give you riches beyond your imagination." Ian smiled and replied calmly, "Sir, this tree does not grow gold. It grows happiness. It cannot be sold." The merchant frowned and left angrily, but his greed burned stronger than ever before. That night, under the cover of darkness, he returned to the forest to steal the tree. He crept quietly toward the glowing tree holding an axe, but as soon as he raised his hand, the wind turned cold and the forest went still. A deep voice echoed through the trees. "Greed destroys what kindness builds." The merchant froze, the ground trembled slightly, and the golden light around the tree began to fade. Suddenly, his bag of gold turned into dry leaves. Terrified, he dropped everything and ran away, never to return again. The next morning, Ian noticed the magic tree looked weaker. Its glow had dimmed and its leaves drooped softly. He touched the trunk gently and said, "I'm sorry, I couldn't protect your light." The tree whispered softly, "The light doesn't die, Ian. It moves from me to you." Ian felt a warm glow spread through his heart. He understood the magic was never in the tree. It had always lived inside him. Years passed. The village became a place of peace and joy. The tree still stood tall, not as bright as before, but full of life. Children played under its shade, and the villagers still told its story. Ian grew into a wise, gentle man. He helped everyone who came to him, not with magic, but with kindness. One evening, sitting beside the tree, his mother smiled and said, "You see, my son, real magic isn't what you have, it's what you give." Ian nodded. He looked at the sunset sky and whispered, "Kindness never dies, it only spreads." The soft wind carried his words through the forest, and people said that if you listen carefully near old trees, you can still hear Ian's gentle voice saying, "Be kind, and magic will find you."